My name is Anna, and welcome to today's message. You know in your heart from Ecclesiastes 7:20 through 22. Indeed, there's no one on earth who is righteous, no one who does what is right and never sins. Do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servant cursing you. For you know in your heart that many times you yourself have cursed others. Well, that was kind of long. So I'm going to simplify it for you. This verse speaks about the imperfection of being human and living our human lives. It tells us that no one is perfect, and no matter who you are, that you do sin. And it also gives some practical advice. Avoid taking everything to heart, especially when people are insulting or critical about you, because they too have sinned. And my friends, they will reap what they sow. How many times in your life do you think you've been insulted or heard gossip about yourself? And how did it feel? Well, I am going to share a small psychological fact with you. It has probably happened frequently. You see, the average person encounters simple insults many times in a day, whether they are the target of it or not, the person who is delivering it, or just an innocent bystander. And that's because criticism, it is a part of human interaction. It happens from the time we're small, when we get taunted in the playground, and it goes straight through our adult lives. It happens because of anger, frustration, jealousy, or the things that we find threatening. These interactions often prompt us to quickly disarm the threat with a hurtful response, even if we do it unintentionally. And it is a human error. And it causes us to judge others harshly and to act in defense. And it happens when we have disagreements or are frustrated, and in those cases, it is intentional. And this especially happens when we and another person have a disagreement. And generally because we believe that the fault lies with the other person, and then we get angry about it. Now, there are some different ways to manage it, but most people, ironically, do not choose them. Because as humans, we quickly choose to defend and not make amends because of our egos. And it is a psychological activation, a human trait. And the more offended we are, well, the worse the insult usually is. But that doesn't make it acceptable. And as the Bible says, we reap what we sow even if we do not intend to do it. And almost always it happens because we're trying somehow to avoid being responsible in some way for our words. And the only time that it's not true is when it happens by hearsay or we are not part of the conversation and only overhear it unintentionally or by accident. Either way, the effect is still negative. And these wounds, once they happen, they are hard to heal, and they almost are never instantly forgiven. So today, I'm going to provide you with a few ways to sidetrack the behavior and to make a choice to choose peace, because there's always a way to learn how to disagree without attacking someone else. But I will admit it is not easy. It is something that I have had to learn, and today I would like to share it with you. And I hope that the strategies today will help you to choose a better way. Now, one thing that I always have done is I've used humor to disarm my situations. But to do this, it has to be very well timed, and it has to be good humor. The person that you're speaking to has to understand that it's not being done with bad intentions. And sometimes it can backfire, so be careful with that one. You can ignore it, and that usually stops it, but not always. You can set boundaries, and that works well if the offender is not someone who frequently will overstep them. And when you set the boundaries, you can say something like, "I'm wondering if you could give me a better way. Can you help me improve it?" Which generally gives it back to them and asks them to resolve the problem. You might even say, "If you could guide me instead of insulting me, we could probably improve the problem." Almost always they don't know what to say when you do that, and it stops them from approaching you again. You can accept it no matter who, why, or where it comes from. And that sometimes can reflect more when you give it some thought. You might find actually that it's constructive feedback. And if it was delivered without mean intentions, you can look beyond the words and it might show you actually a place where you can grow. And if it doesn't attack your self-worth, it may in fact be someone who's wishing to help you improve. And often this happens with people like supervisors at work or mentors. Now, as a general rule, understanding what a true insult is and what is constructive criticism comes from how it is accepted, not just delivered. An insult, even when worded in a helpful way, is still an attack on self-worth rather than offering a way to improve. And good feedback is specific and vague, and it is not personally attacking. So the next time that you feel the need to defend yourself, take a step back and consider this verse and what I have shared today. The best way to stop it is to ask for clarification if needed and choose to disengage, not taking it to heart. Verbal abuse, even when unintentional, is still abuse, disguised as intent, tone, specificity, and is not helpful. Choose to have a respectful lifestyle and live as you know in your heart, because many times you yourself have cursed others, even if it was unintentional. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be love. Love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I'll see you next time.